I want to answer a lot of questions about Japan, as you see here. Why I think it's a very good option to move to, because you can get a free house in Japan. What am I talking about? There's quite a community now of Gaijin foreigners. Gaijin is a word for anybody who's not Japanese. You can be black, white, Indian, Asian, doesn't matter. If you're not Japanese, you're Gaijin. Big community of Gaijin move into Japan now and claiming free homes. So let's talk about from a British point of view. Most of the people asking me questions are from Britain. Keir Starmer said, if you don't like the changes we are making here, then leave. Okay, where's a good place to go to? A lot of people used to go to Southeast Asia because the currency went a long way. So Thailand is obvious. So many white men, balding white men who are divorced or single, they go to Thailand because the women there and the money goes a long way. Cambodia, Vietnam, Philippines, all these other places, because the pound goes a long way. Kind of the same for the dollar, Canadian dollar, euro. You know, they sort of retire there or take early retirement now. That's changing. It's not so cheap there anymore. You used to be able to get a nice meal for pennies. Accommodation was really cheap. You know, going out having a good time was very cheap. That is changing, and is the war now between Thailand, Cambodia, along the border there. It's looking really bad. A lot of people used to get like a 90-day visa for Thailand. They do a visa run, you know, to Cambodia, and then they could do that. Now you can't do that anymore. The war is terrible. There's shrapnel and bullets flying. It's terrible. So you don't want to go to Thailand anymore. A load of people are leaving Thailand. Where do we go? Well, the yen has dropped so much now. Japan here is a very good choice. Japan is better than these other countries I'm talking about because I know it's cheap. Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand, Philippines. But the infrastructure is not there. The advantage is that it's very cheap to live. But so it used to be somewhere like Japan. Okay, brilliant infrastructure. The healthcare is absolutely amazing. Well, I've been to the dentist. You go to, you know, anything with health is such high quality. Much better than the UK. Way better than the UK. Far better. And I paid about 30% of the cost, which is very cheap because, I mean, I was living in Japan, paying tax. And you pay for it like a health insurance, and that covers it. Whenever I had any kind of health, you have to pay the first 30% and the government pays the 70%. But it's way better than the UK anyway. So the point I'm making, the infrastructure is so good. The living there, I'm talking about the roads, high quality, you know, like Britain. There's potholes everywhere. Everything's efficient, everything works, the trains are on time, everything is great. The customer service, you know, there's a saying in Japan, customer is God. You are treated like God. You are, I mean, it's the opposite in the UK, isn't it? Customer is scum in the UK. They treat you so badly, you know. It's hilarious, really. You laugh, but Britain's going down the toilet. Japan is rising. I say that, but of course the economy, from the point of view of when you're in Japan, it's great. But on a worldwide scale, the yen is falling, which is good for us foreigners going there. It's very good. It's very cheap. So you can get a flight to Japan for about £300 with these Chinese airlines. Cheap Chinese airlines. My wife keeps telling me she doesn't want to fly because they've got a very poor safety rating. It's like the worst in the world. But still, it's safer than driving on a motorway in a car. It's safer if you drive every day in a car. That is more chance of something bad happening than flying the cheap Chinese airlines. Yeah, there's a risk in everything you do. We know that. But it's £300 for a return flight. 90-day return flight to Japan, £300 is very, very good. So you get your flight to Japan. 90-day visa. Most people, 90 days is enough to start with. I got someone I'm helping there now. 90 days is enough. Book your flight back in 90 days. And if you want to go back and stay for longer, you can get something called a J-Find visa. Now, if you go and look that up now, J-Find visa, it's a 2-year visa, and you can easily extend it for another year. You need to have qualified from one of the top 100 universities around the world in the last 5 years. And somebody, oh, that doesn't apply to me, I didn't, so I can't do it. Well, you can. There's something called the degree mill. I'm not endorsing this. I'm not saying whether you can or you can't do this. I'm not saying this is a good idea to do this. I'm just saying people are doing it. I've got a friend of mine, an American, who helps you out with that. You can download a degree from the degree mill from one of the top 100 universities. You pay a small amount, you print it out, and you've got this degree now, and you can apply. People have done it and it works. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not endorsing it. I'm not saying it's not dodgy to do that. I'm not saying that, but some people are doing that. You can get a 2-year visa. That visa allows you to, you don't even need to work. You don't have to, I think you have to show you've got a little bit of money. It's like a couple of $1,000 worth. And then you can get a bank account. You've got you're legitimately in the country for 2 years. After 2 years, you can extend it if you want to. Keep extending it, but there might be other visa options in. So £300 for a flight. You can get a 90-day visa, or you can get a 2-year visa. If you do J-Find visa, I can help you do the J-Find visa. So now you've got 2 years. You could live in Japan. You can come back and forth if you like. But anyway, I'd stay here for 2 years. Get your flight, a return flight. It's £150 there, £150 back. Get it for 2 years. When your visa runs out, you've got the option of coming back, or you could renew your visa and stay a bit longer. So where do you live? Let's talk about other things first of all. Mobile phone. You can get one of the virtual SIMs dead easy, or go to Docomo and all these other ones. There's loads of, like in the West, we've got O2 and we've got 3, and we've got these mobile phone companies. There's several in Japan, and it's very straightforward, very easy to get a Japanese SIM. Or if you've got a SIM card in another country, get a virtual SIM card. And when you get to Japan, there's free Wi-Fi everywhere. Wi-Fi, every convenience store, that's a convenience store, everyone's convenience got free Wi-Fi. Everywhere, loads of big businesses, loads of places, McDonald's, coffee shops, train stations, they're all free Wi-Fi. But when you're in a built-up area, you can just pay, 100 yen a day, or you can pay a month package. You can buy internet. You just buy virtual internet, which is, you can get it pretty much everywhere. And that's what I do. It's very cheap, incredibly cheap, because the yen is going down. So you got your mobile phone, your internet sorted out. Now, where do you stay? First option is their internet cafes, very cheap, couple hundred yen. Now, people talk about in Thailand, like baht, 150 baht, 100 baht. And it's so cheap, 100 baht. Basically, the same with yen now. If you're saying 100 baht, 100 yen, they're the same. Japan here, the currency has fallen so much, and it is still falling. When you talk about 100 baht, 150 baht, same thing, 100 yen, 150 yen. Better value in Japan. It goes further. The yen goes so far. So you can go to a 100 yen sushi restaurant, and it's cheaper than the street food in Thailand. I know that people say, oh, the street food in Thailand is so cheap. It's pennies. It's hardly worth, it's working out how much it is, 150 baht. Well, 100 yen sushi bar is 30p, 40p. And it's a nice meal, It's pennies. You can live so cheap in Japan. 100 yen sushi bar, and I like the 100 yen shops. There's loads of 100 yen shops. You can buy pretty much everything you could think of, It's similar to the dollar store in America or the pound shops in Britain. But the stuff, most of it is just tap from China. 3D printed stuff. But anything you could think of, if you need something, it's 100 yen. It's so cheap. And I love that. But I love shopping. So I'm talking about the infrastructure in Japan is so much better. The shopping centres, the shops, the hardware stores, the clothes, everything's better. So much better and much cheaper. Ideally, if you were going to retire, if you could have your pension in a Western country like a pound, say you've got a pension in pounds, or you've got some investments in pounds, or you've rented out property or something like that, you've got a business bringing in pounds, you can live like a king in Japan. So much. Go to 100 yen restaurants every day. Go to these little family, even if you spend 300 yen, it's like 90p. You can have an amazing food, and everything's so cheap. Everything's fantastic in Japan. I'm really trying to sell Japan. The whole thing about Japan, the food is the best in the world. Japanese cuisine, Nihon Shoku is Japanese cuisine. Sushi, all the different sushis. There's so many, all the different, and food and drink. Going out having drinks with friends is better in Japan. The entertainment's better. Tokyo's amazing. And then you've got the onsen. The volcano heats the water, and you go in this nice hot spring. Oh, it's so relaxing. I love in this winter when it's snowing. Japanese word for snow is yuki. Yuki's all around, and you're cold. You come out and you're cold because everybody's naked, and you're cold. And then you slowly go into the natural onsen. It's outside. The snow's falling on you. And what I do is take Japanese beer, and you prop it up in the yuki, and you put snow all around it so that it keeps it cool. And you go down into the volcano water just up to here. And then I take the beer out of it, and I drink cold beer, and you can feel it cold inside you while the outside of you is hot. It's such an amazing experience. I love Japan. It's the best experience I've ever had anywhere of all my travels around the world. And then if you can go out and you wear yukata, which is really comfortable. Yukata, I've got one over here. A nice yukata is like Japanese dressing gown type thing, but you can wear it all the time. And then you sleep on a tatami floor with a futon. It's so comfortable. And if you sleep with a really beautiful woman, you know, a Japanese woman, and have Japanese food, the best. This is why I love Japan. Now, the main thing is accommodation. Anywhere you live, cost of accommodation, isn't it? How much is accommodation? Are you thinking about Thailand? Are you thinking about Cambodia, Vietnam, Philippines, or down in Indonesia, or anywhere around here? What is the cost and availability of accommodation? In Japan, why I'm saying Japan is the best option, you can get free accommodation in Japan. You can get a free house in Japan. I'm going to boil it right down. There's tens of millions of empty homes that are abandoned. Why is there so many abandoned homes? 9 million on the official list, but it's more than double that if you all the stuff that's not reported. The population of Japan is falling by about 1 million people every year. It means there's more old people dying or people moving out of Japan than there are babies being born or people moving into Japan. Net migration is more than immigration, and there's hardly any babies being born. Has been that way for years. Population is falling by 1 million people every year, and they're building new homes, which is absurd to me, but everyone likes to build new homes. They're building like 1 million new homes every year, which means there's over 1 million homes become empty every year. These are abandoned. I've talked about it in the past in my other videos. The inheritance tax is so much people don't want to inherit it. It just goes, no one inherits it. It's abandoned. There's all these lovely abandoned homes. Now, you can do an official thing through the government and claim it as yours. You could do that straight away, and you have to pay for a little. It's free, but you have to pay little fees, solicitor and things. But there's another way that involves squatting for 10 years. There's a rule in Japan, the way things work, that if you can prove you've occupied an abandoned home for 10 years, and it might be longer, it might be up to 20, then you can claim it as yours. But I say this, if you have lived there for 10 years, why would you want to claim it as yours? Then you have to start paying the land tax and all the complications, bureaucracy. If you've lived there for 10 years, carry on living there for another 10 years, carry on living there for 20, 30, 40 years. You don't have to register it as yours. So what is involved? There's a place where I'm talking about, which is 45 minutes from Tokyo. It's a 45-minute train ride. People commute further than that. It's not too bad to commute if you want to get into Tokyo for work or whatever, or just occasionally get into Tokyo. And it's a place called Atami. My favourite place, just outside Tokyo, 45 minutes on a fast train. And then it's up the mountain a little bit. It's very safe from tsunamis. If there is a tsunami, I'm talking about high elevation, you're safe from that. Safe from earthquakes, mudslides. There's certain places in there that did have mudslides. So you can think of that when you're choosing the location. Think about earthquakes, mudslides. And by the way, this is quite a safe place from volcanoes as well. If Fuji blows, you can see Fuji, but it's a long way away. But look at the place, right? There's no chance of a mudslide here. That's something to bear in mind. But you're safe from tsunamis, earthquakes. Safe from bears. Bear attacks are a big problem in Japan. There's no bears in this area, but there are wild boar, which can be dangerous. But with a rifle, wild boar, we have some brilliant barbecues. Anyway, you choose a empty home, and there are tens of thousands to choose from in this area. I think it's every 1 in 20 homes are still lived in, haven't been abandoned yet, but that is increased soon. It'll be 1 in 30 homes are still lived in. There are so many to choose from. You want to choose the best one, an area that you like the look of, and I can help you. There's loads of us guys in choosing homes there. I was in it just recently. We're going there again. I booked a flight for in a couple of weeks' time. I love this area. Now, if you wanted to join our community, there's loads of Gaijin and Japanese people living there. Right, we'll go around. You spend a couple of days looking at homes. You could probably look at a couple of hundred homes, if you want. Choose the one you like. And what we'll do, right, this is the one you want. Now I will go on land registry, check the last owner. Who is the current owner on land registry? And it'll probably say that the current owner is someone who's deceased. And that was back in 2017 or whatever, whenever the last owner deceased or went into an old people's home and now they're deceased. No one has claimed it since then. That means it is Akea. It is abandoned. You don't have to go and claim it. In fact, I don't think you should go and claim it officially as yours. I know you've got a bit of security there, no one else is going to, but I say there's so many, you've got to understand there are so many abandoned homes. You don't have to worry someone else is going to come and take it. You just occupy it. I'm only looking at homes that are obviously unoccupied. I can tell nobody's been in there for a long time. If you make it look like someone's coming and going, you're not going to have someone else come and squat there, you know. It's not abandoned. You're the one who's looking after it. So what is involved is we break in without doing too much damage, but you've got to get access to it somehow. Often you can get in. I've got some ways to do that with a bit of plastic, locksmithing skills. You get in. Often you can find keys inside. I've found them in the past. Me and my son, we did Akea hunting. We found keys and even a spare set. So okay, you don't. But if you can't find the keys, change the locks. It won't cost you much. Very small amount. Change the locks. Get good security. This is yours now. Clean the place up. Look, it's probably going to be dusty. It's going to need a lot of clean. Get some disinfectant mop and a bucket. It's usually all there. I find that stuff in the house. And by the way, water's always turned on. In this place, it's all water, free from the mountain. It's good quality water from the mountain. You've got water. You don't have to pay for that. Mop and bucket. You find everything there that you need. Maybe get some clean disinfectants and things like that. Clean the place thoroughly. Now, I'm cutting a long story short. There'd be a lot of rubbish things you don't want in the home. You could hire a truck to take it away, or you could cart it away yourself, or you can dig a massive pit in the garden and bury everything, wrap it up and bury it up. That's nice. Then you've got a nice clean empty home. Keep it clean. I paint the walls, I varnish, I sand down, keep it clean, maintain it, maintain the garden, make it nice. I do not turn electricity on, because then you've got to start paying bills. I want to live off grid. I want to live, you've got water for free. I have fold out solar panels and battery bank, and I put LED light strips all around the rooms I want with a little remote control. It's just batteries, you put batteries in each one. That's the lights. I live off grid, and you can do scavenging on all the other empty homes around the area. There are, well, there's tens of millions in Japan, empty homes and buildings, schools, businesses, you know, all these places all empty because the population's falling so much. You can go scavenging. You go, we call it urbex, urban exploring. You go into a building, you find furniture. This is nice. This would look good in my place. You find a nice sofa, table and chairs, beds, mattresses, futons, fridge, freezer, microwave, kitchen appliances. You can go scavenging. If it's been abandoned, you can take it back to your place. And that's what we're doing. If you're interested in coming to live in Japan, shoot me an email. I can definitely help you.